Welcome. You have reached review time with Imperial, and we're going to do a year review, top 10 official worst movies of 2018. Let's dive in it. And I'm going to start this off by basically saying, just because these are, like, my opinion, the worst movies of 2018, doesn't necessarily mean that they were the worst performing movies of 2018. So look, a few of these movies on here performed well in the box office. It's just, in my opinion, when I watched them, they weren't that good. So coming in at number 10, Robin Hood. And this is from I'm rating it with 1 being the worst of all, and then 10 is the least worst. So coming in at number 10, Robin Hood. It was a remake. I felt as though that the Kevin Costner that came out in the 90s version was good. This version wasn't that good. It really didn't have a good storyline. The main character that played Robin Hood, he played in Kingsman. And that same character that he played in Kingsman was the same character of Robin Hood. That's all I kept saying was Izzy. And Izzy was the character in the Kingsman movie 1 and 2. So this movie didn't get a good rating from me. However, the budget was $100 million, and it grossed $73 million year to date on this film. Coming in at number 9, Halloween 2018. My gosh. Oh man. I was so disappointed. When the trailer first came out for this movie, I was just like, come on, Hollywood is not creative enough to create a new character. Michael Myers has been around since the late 70s till now, and they haven't came out with better characters. Then to come out with this movie and totally wiped away all of the Halloweens. Wiped them all away. This basically went from Halloween 1, that the very original one, up until now, wiped off everything in between. And I thought that was like poor writing, poor creativity that they did that. And because Laurie Strode, which is Jamie Lee Curtis, her character was killed in Halloween Resurrection at the beginning of the movie. He threw her off a roof. So I was wondering how they bringing her back in this one. So I found out they just wiped off all the movies in between and just basically kept the original and then this one. And this one, I got a review on the movie, so just check the review out. I just want to give too much into it, but this one, they pretty much used like the same storyline of the original. He broke out of the bus. It was like terrible. Like, this day and age, if this big time serial killer, it'd have been footage of his transport. They transporting him at night. His doctor gets to go with him. There's no eyes on this transport, and the way things would have been wildfires through social media. When the thing about social media and the social media age, a lot of people hate it because it's the internet gives us and social media gives us so much information at our hand. We get information on demand. As soon as something happens, it's no longer waiting for the news team to promote it on news. We get it instantly through your phone, social media platforms. So for them to not place that into the movie was just, oh man, bad writing. However, with that being said, I said all that. The budget for this film was $10 million. But they ranked in worldwide. Now keep in mind, this is worldwide, these numbers I'm giving you. $253 million. Whew, off a budget of 10 million and a poor storyline. So who am I, pretty much? They could look at me and say, yeah, you saying all that, yeah, you could be right, but guess what? We ranked in 253 million off of this movie, and we keep going. So terrible. I just like a fan of movies, a person who watched all of the Halloweens. Yeah, you getting a money grab. It's cool, but give the fans something good to watch though. Give us something good to watch. Get better writing with that. More creativity. Just all right. Moving on. Coming in at number 8. We're going with Overboard 2018. Another remake. Didn't have a budget. What the budget was. This is the original with Kurt Russell and Goldie Hawn. 80s movie. Loved it back in the day. This was a remake with they're playing all the comedy movies, and it wasn't. It was an okay movie. I think in my review I picked something like it could have went straight to Netflix or something like that, and it would have been a better movie. But for it to go in the movie theater, it was like nah, sorry. But that being said, what do I know? It did 91 million worldwide. So hey, in that case, it's a money grab. Coming in at number 7, here's another one. I Feel Pretty, starring Amy Schumer. Another okay movie, could have went straight to Netflix, but Amy Schumer has a big name, so her movies is going to hit the movie theater, and she's very popular, and she's selling out in arenas and stuff like that. So the movie itself was just a okay movie. It was pretty much like the female version of Shallow Hal, if you've seen that with years ago. What's my name? With Jack Black. Shallow Hal with Jack Black. Basically the female version of that. Just an okay movie. So that's at number 7, but that had a budget of 32 million, and it raked in 94 million worldwide. Once again, what do I know? I could say it was a not so good movie, but the numbers say different, right? Coming in at number 6, Action Point. Now a lot of people might even say, what is that? Action Point, starring Johnny Knoxville, where he's reminiscing on a guy who had a vision to create his own amusement park, and he made an amusement park with very safety hazard rides and everything, and he got shut down. So it came and went. It was showed up in the movie theater real quick. I watch a lot of movies, so I gave it a shot. And just as fast as it was in the movie theater, it jumped right back out. It had a budget of 19 million. It only made 5 million. It didn't even make it worldwide. It just was in. So actually, that movie definitely should have went straight to Netflix. Coming in at number 5, Bad Times at El Royale. Now this had a budget of 32 million, and it only made 31 million worldwide. So that was a fail. This movie had too much going on, too much back and forth. You had to follow it, and then you finally get to the end. It just was silly. It was too much going on, and everybody felt the same way. That's why I didn't do well. And they, they just made their money back. So go figure. Coming in number 4, Proud Mary, starring Taraji P. Henson. Now this had a budget of 14 million. It grossed 21 million worldwide. They made their money back. But this movie, this is supposed to be Taraji P.'s like tribute to Pam Grier, Foxy Brown type movies from back in the day. But, I mean, if you get this opportunity, why not make a better storyline? Why the storyline was the way it was? The storyline wasn't good. It was just some real unbelievable things that took place that was like, come on, get out of here. Like, it's Hollywood, but give us something. Like, that was just too ridiculous, some of the things that went on in that movie. So the storyline wasn't that good. So that's why it gets number 4 on my list. Coming in number 3, here's another one. Predator. My gosh. Predator. They then came out with so many Predator movies. This Predator movie had a budget of $88 million. It grossed $160 million worldwide. This Predator movie was terrible, terrible, terrible storyline. Then it came with a super predator that was bigger than the regular predators that was hunting the other predators. Then the very end, they had a predator suit. It was, it's just the lack of creativity that these people in Hollywood are plugged into that are getting green lighted. It's just like, hey, it's going to sell off his name. We're going to hype it up with the advertisement. It's going to sell it its own. Just come up with some type of script. We're going to shoot it. And don't worry about it. And that's basically what they're doing. Because, you know, and they should give other people that's have creative ideas to give a better storyline than that. Going next. Coming in at number 2. Deep Blue Sea 2. Now, the original was decent film starring LL Cool J. They was on the boat, and you know, it was cool. These big giant sharks that they were doing scientific things with, and the sharks turned on them. Why was this one terrible? Because it was the same exact story, only this time with actors that you can't. Maybe it's just about one actor that I was familiar with, but the rest of the actors you probably really didn't know was their first shot. But it was the same exact storyline. It from beginning to end with the same exact storyline. How did y'all make a part 2 like that? So this is very well could have been the worst movie of 2018. And at this point, I didn't think nothing get worse than this. And it did. Of course, it went straight to Netflix. So at least this wasn't a movie theater one. So I have no numbers for you on that. And last but not least, in most people reviews of worst movies of 2018, this should be number 1. And coming in at number 1, The Happy Time Murders. Melissa McCarthy. Why did you take this money grab? Why? Now this had a budget of $40 million. And they did worldwide $27 million. And this movie was terrible, ridiculous, disgusting, all the above. It was no place for this movie. Jen Henson is turning over in his grave. Like, it's no way this should be green lighted. It's no way that they offer Melissa McCarthy this money grab. And maybe it was her movie or her idea, but this is a bad idea from jump. And the storyline was stupid. It was just ridiculous. Don't waste your time if you didn't see it to watch it. And that's why it's definitely the worst movie of 2018 in my opinion. There were a lot of bad movies this year, but when you had to, some got taken off, some got put on. When I had to do like, okay, what's the top 10 though? So some had to shave off. Some runner-ups for worst movie of the year. I had Breaking In, starring Gabrielle Union Wade. Also, I had Super Troopers 2. That was another runner-up that I had on the list as well. So, besides that, that's my list for you for the worst movies of 2018. Thank you for tuning in. Stay tuned to the next video. Subscribe and like, share the video. Comment if you would like, if you did see some of the movies or you disagree with my list. Comment and let me know. Until next time.